Hello and welcome back to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting this small building for Marble Crisis Protocol, and just to kind of get you an idea of how we're painting buildings, it's kind of the same method that we've been doing this whole time, but we're just going to go through it anyway. So we're going to start with this uniform green color to get the baseline of it done. I think it's like the classic. So we put it on our brush and we kind of wipe most of it off. We're dry brushing most of this stuff. So we're gonna go in here, just it's okay if we hit some of this other stuff. It's not the end of the world. The stuff that we're not gonna be painting this green. It's just so we're gonna get all these little panels. We're gonna go through. And sometimes it's a little too hard to get in there, but we just didn't have enough paint on our brush. So now we got it. And it's okay that we're doing it, like I've been saying, like these are buildings that are on the street 24/7. There's no best way to do this. And we're trying not to take away from our miniatures. So this is a quick and dirty way to get your terrain painted. It's not the only way to do this, but it is how I do it. And it looks pretty good at the end. So just try to keep those brush strokes going in the same direction for each panel. Like if you're going left and right, just make sure you're going left and right. If you're going up and down, make sure it's always up and down, just to keep it consistent, because it does kind of stay there. For here. Cool. So that's going to be our green. And I think that's going to be like the only like real like, I think that was going to be the only dry brushing, but we're probably going to have to go into it more just because there's a lot of big chunky sections that I don't want to do by hand. So now we're going to get our medium sea gray. And that's going to be like all the scaffolding, the roof probably. So the trim we could also do, but I think we're going to try for like a brown on the trim. But for this trim, we're going to go here. And since we did kind of dry brush it on, we don't have to completely cover everything. Like it can be patchy like this. And if you don't want it to be patchy, then don't make it patchy. It's up to you. We're gonna get the top lip here. Just bear with me while I take care of that. Okay, for the door, I'm gonna get the actual door frame. Like that. The stand, we're gonna do out of wood. Let's take this, the side of our brush, and just kind of dry brush it down. Same thing for all these sections here. Sorry if that's a little too close, but working in a tight space here. Let me get the top of this again. We can treat some of this, like this is a big kind of support column, so maybe this one is made out of concrete or whatever you might call it for the terrain here. Cover up all that green there. I'm going to get across the bottom here. Get along the top of that. Over here, just color that in, just to keep it clean. Flip it over, and we're doing the same to this side. Turn this way. The cool thing about Marvel Crisis Protocol, it has the size of the terrain on the bottom. So if you're throwing it and stuff, you knew like the damage that it would do and all that stuff. They did just recently change the rules of throwing, so it's a little different now, but still cool, like little thing that they had the sizes of the terrain on the building, on the actual models that they made. I did have a top, so just really quickly, we're gonna go through here. Get our green really quick and just clean that up right there. Okay, and now we're gonna switch back to our dry brush with the gray still. And then we're gonna be able to kind of quickly attack the roof here. Oh, I guess we didn't do this part. So just, oh, not that one. Let's turn it over really quick. And then we're going to fucking just go at it on the roof here. That'll be good for our roof. We'll go to leather brown here for our wooden supports. So we're gonna pick up our model here. And then we're gonna go at and this is gonna be okay if we hit in the windows here because we're just gonna repaint the windows anyway. Also, it's okay if you get a little bit on the green because it's on the street. It's fine. It's not gonna destroy the mood that you're trying to build here or whatever. We'll paint this whole sign in. And then the stand here, it's probably like a metal, like shutter type situation, but I'm just gonna paint it like wood. It is weird because it's open, right? So like painting it black like the windows tinted or whatever doesn't make sense for this. Or even that there's a window there doesn't make sense. But maybe it is, I don't know, we'll see. So just kind of get the top of there. I'm gonna go at, just use like a light hand touch on this. You're not having to push too hard because you don't want to hit the other parts of the building. Let me just get in there really quick. It's a little tough spot. Here, we're gonna paint the door. Kind of sloppily how we did the rest of the building just to keep it kind of the same style. And then we're gonna go here. Get it right there. Now we're gonna go to the back here. Get all these tall supports. You're noticing I'm not like super going into it, like getting the sides and all the angles of it, because you're mostly only gonna see it from like the top down. It's not super imperative that we go nuts on this. Totally fine if you want to, but that's just not what we're gonna do. Just, is everything okay?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go across here. Here, flip it around. Same thing for this guy. We're gonna get those little window frames. Okay. Now, let's get our gunmetal color for all the metallics and like the lights, the vents, all that kind of stuff. Here we go. So first we'll grab this guy up here. Then we're gonna get this guy. We'll get the outside of these little lights right here. Probably get like this little, it's a coffee cup. So we're gonna get this little, the cash register. And then, I don't know what's hanging in there. Get the doorknob here. Same thing, lights. And we'll get the vent. And then the clamp on this guy. Okay. Hi, puppy. I want to get like a little shutter piece here. The little supports on this piece. And then the whole overhead here. Get that. And then we're going to get some off-white here. That's gonna be for like the magazines and newspapers in here. Also the little coffee cup too that there's like right here. We'll add some more colors to that in a minute. I'm gonna go back to that brown that we had because I think these are like hot dogs or it's probably magazines, but whatever. We can make them as hot dogs or something in there. Some street meat. We're gonna get some deep red here. And this is how we're gonna do the sign. The Daily Bugle sign, I don't know if it's red and white or whatever. So we're just gonna take this and we're gonna really get the inside here. There we go. And then same thing for the top of this little awning here. Just gonna. Okay, sorry about that. My phone died. So we did the red on the piece here, and then now we're going to get some white here, some of our off-white. And then we're gonna get the lettering and all that on the sign here. just and we're just being light with our hands here, not pushing down too hard, kind of just trying to float on top of the letters. But it's not always going to work out super great. We'll have some spillover, but it's fun. Okay, and then we're going to get the actual outline of the sign. Side and the top. You can leave the back black. Just gonna clean up that little area right there. And I think I hit some over here. Okay, and then we're gonna get our yellow color. Get our flat yellow for the bugle part. This one's gonna be a little bit more difficult because it's not raised like the rest of it. It's kind of just outlined. We'll also like hit like some of these books in here just to like add some variety, and we'll go in there with other colors as well. Oh, it is kind of raised, so let's see here. So just try to be light with it. That. And then we'll get just some deep blue color just to get some more of those magazines colored. And we'll put some red down too, just to also have some like this deep red, just to just switch up some of those magazines. Just like, you know, all those blue magazines that you see at the store. Now we get the red one. Do like that. And then we're just gonna get to our black to fill in all the windows just to make sure that they're covered. You don't have to do this. You could do blue, like it's reflecting the sun, the sky and all that. I just do black like they're super tinted, because that way it could be daytime, it could be nighttime. This is a bummer that that is also like that. That the inside of the shop that's like clearly open is black. But I think we're fine there. We don't have to do anything to that one. And we just gotta get these windows on the side here. And there we go. That's how we paint our small buildings. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We'll catch you guys on the next one.